Would like to lead off today's video by asking my audience a question. How many of you out there, show of hands, can tell me the name of this singer? Now, I'm sure a lot of people are already screenshotting it and doing a Google or Bing or whatever image search. Don't bother. You won't find the image. You would just have to have been around in this era to know who this singer is. This is not an obscure artist. This artist had many number ones and won lots of awards. I'll give you a hint. It was country music. But you would have to probably be someone from the Gen X or Boomer era to know who this is. I'm sure a lot of people are smiling and scratching their heads and going, wow, I know who that is, but I'd never seen that picture of him. You see, this is something that I have warned about for a long time. This image does exist on the internet, but it's in a very obscure corner that not even Google can seem to find. Now, here's what I've been warning about. Sextortionists are making AI nudes from your social media images. Everyone's. There's a lot of people out there think, well, I've never posed this way or that way or any kind of... Doesn't matter. AI is so good, it can take anyone out there and it can remove whatever you're wearing and it can create some type of very believable image and then put that image in videos. And then people can be extorted. Now, this is the key. Plausible deniability. This is what nobody is seeing. You see, in a court of law, if you can say, AI created that video of me doing that thing, so it could possibly occur, ergo it did occur. And since you can't 100% for sure say that's me doing that thing or not, then no one should believe it. You see, at that point, not even law enforcement will be able to use video of criminals committing acts of crime that they've caught on camera. Because there's plausible deniability that because of the existence of AI and the existence of these video tools that anything could possibly be manipulated. It's going to be the end of the criminal justice system as we know it. Now, on even a more serious note, but real quick, just want to say thank you. You see, those of you who are over at the Patreon channel, those of you who watched the video, brand new one we put up earlier today, know who that artist is because we used that artist talking about something completely different. It's only $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable first 90 days. No questions asked. And to be very honest, I've had a few in the last week or two that have, well, for one reason or another, because of the nature of the images that appear over on the Vimeo server or my position on President 45 or anything else. You know, they've said, you know what, I just want to move on. I want to move on. I want to do something else with my money. That's perfectly fine. That's the best part about Patreon is that 90 days, you've got it basically for free. And believe me, there's stuff over there I think a lot of people would want to see and want to know about because there are things you wouldn't know if you hadn't gone through the military training. So $1 per month, $5 per month, whatever you can afford. Thank you so much. I very, very much appreciate it. Now, on that serious note, how many of you know what this is? This is, of course, smallpox. This is the virus associated with it. You want to make a bunch of money? You want to make a whole bunch of money? Do you trade stocks? Buy Emergent Biosolutions. Now, I know a lot of people are like, wait a minute, isn't that the company that just lost their contract for COVID, all the COVID vaccine because of J&J and all that? I'm like, yeah, their stock can be had for song, but something else is coming. Something else is coming down the road, kids, and it is not pretty. 30 May 2023, Emergent Biosolutions subsidiary granted $120 million contract modification for smallpox vaccine supply to the United States. Emergent Biosolutions subsidiary granted $120 million contract modification for smallpox vaccine supply to the United States. As of 30 May 2023, Emergent Biosolutions subsidiary has been granted a contract by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and response. This modification is aimed at supplying the ACAM 2000 smallpox vaccine to the United States. This isn't for someplace else. This isn't for Africa. This isn't for Asia. This isn't for South America. This is for us. The ACAM 2000 vaccine is a replication-competent vaccinia virus vaccine that is used for active immunization against smallpox disease in individuals who are at high risk of contracting the disease. Presently, the Strategic National Stockpile has 3 vaccines, including ACAM 2000. In 2019, Emergent Biosolution was awarded a 10-year contract worth $2 billion to supply the ACAM 2000 vaccine to the stockpile. The ASPR is responsible for leading the preparedness and response efforts for emergency outbreaks. Now, this is all they say. Now, here's the part why you should believe me. I, personally, have been asked to take part in this program where they will be giving me a vaccinia live virus injected, and my body will then develop antibodies, and then they will extract plasma, and they will use that plasma then to create vaccines. And I have agreed to participate in this, primarily because of what's going on here on YouTube and with what's going on with the Patreon channel. The fees for this are pretty high. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, depending on how long your body can produce plasma that is what they can use, what they can need. So, anyway, those of you who are debating about, joining the Patreon or, whether or not what's going on with the censorship is real or not, it is. I wouldn't have gone into this lightly, but that's just the situation we're in right now. So that's why I'm also very, very forgiving of people who choose to go down this road, because I know what it's like to have your back against the wall financially. And that's what's happened with the censorship. That's why you don't hear much from the Patriot Nurse. You don't hear at all from Jennifer Veterans for Truth anymore, and many, many other channels. Because once you've done this for years and years and years, it's not like your resume is shot. You can't go do other things. That's the reality. So those of you that think that I'm doing it because I have some kind of issue or a problem, it's like, no, I know why people do this. I know people who do this. It wasn't their choice. Most of them, 99% of them, it wasn't their first choice. They had no choice. They were backed against a wall. You see, and what started it is this: post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy. What does that mean? It's Latin. The reason it's in Latin is because it's been going on for time in memoriam. People have said, well, this thing occurred. Well, and then this other thing occurred. So, well, then thing number 1 that occurred is the direct cause of thing number 2. It's basically this in a nutshell. Conspiracy nuts that will not accept reasonable arguments, valid proofs, or facts. That because of, and here's what the tie into the beginning of the video is: plausible deniability, where technically, if this then, and then this other thing, then you can't explain this, so therefore this other. And it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, the sky is blue, grass is green. There'll be somebody out there debating it. And, you try to laugh at it as much as you can. But it's really the case. And and here's the irony of all ironies about this. When I talked about the sextortion, there are people out there who are immune. They have been, you ready for this? Here's the total tie-in. There are people out there who have already been immunized against being extorted, because their pictures of themselves in whatever state of dress doing whatever, they're already on the internet, and they are monetized and behind paywalls. That's why I put all of this together with the immunization thing, because truly they are. Anybody who's already on OnlyFans, anybody who's already done this, who's already taken that, they can't be extorted. I mean, imagine saying, look, I have this picture of you in a certain state of dress, and that person's laughing, saying, yeah, I know. There's thousands of them like that. Big deal. They're behind my paywall and they're all copyrighted. You do anything with them and I'm going to sue the crap out of you. You see, that's what's going to happen. So anyway, it's just a very weird time in the world where this can go on. So Charlie McLean was the singer in the picture, and Dancing Your Memory Away, and Sleeping with the Radio On, and if you find the video from Mr. King's Row, 585, and it's right on YouTube, and you go through about a minute and a half in, minute and 20 seconds in, something like that, you'll see that screenshot of that image. But it's the first result. It's the first result that you find when you type in Dancing Your Memory Away, Charlie McLean. The video has 585,000 views, but I dare you, go search the image and see if the video won't even come up. And you have to say, well, why can't Google find its own stuff? That's the question. You see, that's the question you need to ask yourself. So anyway, I will leave it there. But God bless all of you who joined us over at Patreon. I very much appreciate it. It's making a huge difference, and I know there's going to be a lot of you out there that have an opinion on this, but I appreciate your opinions. However, those of you that have opinions aren't the ones in charge of paying my bills. So I have to do what I have to do. And since they came to me, and you already have to have been vaccinated for smallpox, and I was, to qualify for this. Now, there are a whole bunch of other qualifications that you have to get through to qualify to be in this program where they give you this virus and you make the money from donating the plasma. So I will leave it there, and just, I guess, pray for me, and hopefully if you can, support would be great too. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.